Now, it's time for the latest hot topics from the world of sports. Let's get started. Welcome to the First Overtime Podcast.
I want to talk about Carson Wentz. And I have been very vocal about my opinion of Carson Wentz. My thought process on him is he's a backup quarterback. Right. What's one of the best abilities that one can have in the NFL? Availability, right? They say that constantly. The NBA, they play, 72, 82 games a year. The NHL, they play 72 games a year. Baseball, they play 162 or 172, whatever the hell it is. So in a sport where you're playing now 17 games a year, but previously 16 games a year plus playoffs if you're able to get there, you have to play 90 to 95% of your games as a quarterback to make an impact on your team. And everywhere that Carson Wentz goes, which so far has only been Philadelphia, now Indianapolis, he has left a negative impact on his team. Carson Wentz has a well-documented history of ruining his team's seasons by getting injured. When the Eagles traded Wentz to the Colts for a second-round pick, they traded him. That pick was conditional. I don't even remember what they traded him for. I just remember that it was a few picks, and they weren't great. But the second-round pick was conditional in the sense that if Carson Wentz played 70% of his team's snaps, that pick would become a first-round pick. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He hurt his foot on the practice field. I don't know if he stepped on it. I don't know. To be honest, I don't care. I saw the headlines. I read it a little bit. All I needed to know is that Carson Wentz is garbage. He's garbage in the sense that he can't get mentally right. He can't stay physically right. And at 25, 28, 30, hell, at $19 million a year, he's not worth it. He had one good season, and Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. And ever since then, mentally, he cannot get in the right headspace. And he cannot get it together to string together a full entire season or a season in which he has played really well like he did his second year in the league when he was on pace for an MVP caliber season. Now, when Wentz was in Philly, he played 5 seasons. This is what his results were. All right, 2016, 16 games, fractured his rib, no playoffs. And that was his rookie year, to be fair. And I think he threw for 16 touchdowns and 14 picks. So that's not even as good as Baker Mayfield's rookie season, which was quite good. Now, in Carson's defense, in his following year, he played 13 games, tore his ACL, and then that's when Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. And I think he had 33 touchdowns, like 7 or 8 picks or something like that when he went out. So he had a hell of a season. That's fine. And if he finishes those 3 games to finish the year out, he probably does win MVP. But Nick Foles comes in relief, finishes the final 3 games, gets warmed up, goes in, playoffs, they get to the Super Bowl, and then we have an all-timer against Tom Brady. Nick Foles won that Super Bowl. 500-something yards, multiple touchdowns. It has been a long time where we could say that the quarterback of X team actually won that Super Bowl. Right? We had Malcolm Butler interception. We had the Denver Broncos defense. Just recently, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Not very many quarterbacks have gone in, let alone gone against Tom Brady, and physically won the Super Bowl. Nick Foles outdueled Tom Brady in the 2017 season and won that Super Bowl. And that's when Carson Wentz fell apart. The following years, played 11 games. stress fracture in his back. And then Foles comes back in, gets them to the playoffs. They're a wild card. They had that ugly game against Chicago. They win, and then they lose the next game, and they're out. Which would have been even twice as bad if they somehow managed to get to another Super Bowl with Nick Foles. But we wouldn't be in this conversation because if they did that, then Carson Wentz would have been gone. 100%. And in 2019, he played all 16 games. But what happens? Concussion in the first quarter, first round of the playoffs, he's gone. Carson Wentz is a backup quarterback because he can't stay healthy, and he is just not worth the price tag. And if I was the Colts organization, I would move on from him with extreme haste. Right now, there are rumors going around that the Colts may have interest in trading for Nick Foles from the Chicago Bears because he's third. They got Andy Dalton. They just drafted Justin Fields. Nick Foles is getting paid $6.7 million as a third stringer Super Bowl quarterback sitting on the bench because he cannot play in the regular season. He's had 2 good years. His first year in Philadelphia, and he played, I think, 12 games. He threw 22 touchdowns, either 2 or 4 interceptions. He played very well, threw the ball wherever the hell he wanted to. His second good season wasn't even a season. It was 3 games in the regular season and then the playoffs in which he won the Super Bowl. That is it. Nick Foles will forever go down in that Trent Dilfer category, where he is not that great of a quarterback but somehow managed to win a Super Bowl. The Colts move on from Carson Wentz immediately. Immediately get rid of that dude because he is not going to do anything for you, and you are going to dump money into this guy because he's going to show you 5-game spans of a very high ceiling, and he's going to play hero ball. He's going to get hurt. He's not going to do it. Or he's going to completely shred and fall apart mentally because they're talking about bringing in Nick Foles to help keep their season alive because they have Eason. That's it. Just draft. So, never played an NFL snap. And there is almost no veteran quarterbacks that are available. I don't even know. I mean, Gardner Minshew, because he's not going to play in Jacksonville. I mean, there's literally nobody you can get. Maybe Andy Dalton if Chicago decides they want to kick the tires and put Fields in. Maybe Cam Newton, who's trash anyways. It is. He's one of the worst quarterbacks. I think there's like 4 or 5 backups I would take over Cam Newton. He's trash too. But what an abject disaster that this is for the Colts. I feel so bad for them. They had Peyton Manning, won a Super Bowl, and with his health concerns in his neck, it was just time for them to move on. No harm, no foul. I don't think anybody was really that upset in that situation. Everybody's pretty understanding. And then they suck for luck, right? They get Andrew Luck. Now this is where it starts to become their own fault. They did not protect Andrew Luck. They could never get an offensive line together, and when they did, it was too late. And now he's sitting at home. I believe they're still paying him. So unless they can miraculously convince Andrew Luck to come out of retirement, he is their only savior right now in the NFL. Either that or I'm going absolutely 150% all in on Aaron Rodgers. I'm giving them Wentz. I'm giving them T.Y. Hilton. I'm giving them whoever the hell they want. I'm giving them, give them Quentin Nelson. Give them Quentin Nelson, Nick Foles, and a first-round pick. And I'm getting Aaron Rodgers in because Aaron Rodgers is mobile. Quentin Nelson's a stud. But you gotta do something because the Indianapolis Colts, they're ready to win now. They're a Super Bowl team now. Now, if they had even a slightly, I mean, we're talking like a little bit younger and a little bit better of a quarterback than Phillip Rivers, they probably have a good shot at making it to a title game last year. But nope. Now they are completely screwed. They've got nothing in the pipeline. And Wentz, once again, is a garbage quarterback who is worth absolutely nothing cannot stay healthy.